Yes, good morning, everyone. Hello, are you listening to me? Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your response. We are talking about skills, language skills. So the main thing in teaching language skills like receptive, productive, or listening, speaking, reading, writing, we should be familiar with the language activities, like listening activities, at least five activities you should know. Okay, hearing mistakes, Simon says dictation, same or different, find the differences, rhyming words. These are few to mention here. These activities you should uh, keep in your mind, and the classroom procedure also. How do you conduct, right? How do you use these activities in classroom? Use and speaking activities, in our previous classes also, we directly, indirectly talked about these activities like describing pictures, cue dialogues, using real objects, rhymes, song chants, using games, storytelling, etc. These are some activities we can use while teaching, speaking to the students. And reading activities like loud reading, model reading, improving the speed of reading, jigsaw reading, mistaken reading. These are some reading activities we can use in reading class. And there are few writing activities that we can use in lower secondary class also. Combining sentences to make paragraph, then conversion exercise. From conversion is changing from one sentence to another sentence, and completing sentences. Half part is blank, then half part is given. This is also known as sentence starter, starter activity. Then proofreading type of activity also we can do, like check spelling, punctuations, capital letter, full stop, comma, question mark. These punctuations we check. Dictation we can do. Teacher speaks, gives lecture, and students, they have to write according to lecture given by the teacher. And developing skeleton, elaboration of key points or ideas given there. And sentence starter, just we wrote. Expanding text can be done. And reduction, when we proofread the text or revise the text, proofreading or revising, let's say, yeah, rather than proofreading, revising. I said revising. So some unnecessary words, sentences, ideas can be reduced, can be omitted from the writing, and some can be added. Quick write also, at the stage of brainstorming, students, they write fast. Spidergram, or mind mapping also we call. Collecting rough ideas, because writing is first collecting rough ideas, tentative ideas, and organizing those ideas into a readable text after some exercises. These activities we can use in the writing class. Constructing sentences, anagram. So these are few writing activities. And then we have to also think about some activities to teach receptive language skills. For the receptive language skills, mistake and reading, listen and match, listen and circle, listen and take. And when we use these activities, students, they have to listen and they have to read and to do some activities. Listen first, they listen, Then on the basis of listening, they have to read the given text, either that is uh, reading text, or some questions or problems might be they read and they try to do. And some productive language skills also we have to do. Some we have to discuss here. Just one I have mentioned here: strip story can be used to teach productive language skills of the students. Okay. Then other the project work can also be used. Project activity we can use, because project not only productive, both productive and deceptive two skills will come in project work. So some language function activities I have mentioned here: the piling of sentences, game, one-ending game, constructing exponents, workers, matching, dialogue, and drilling. So these are some activities. So in this way, we candidates uh, should prepare activities like पहिला यस्तो activity listing गर्दै हौँ हैन, एटलिस्ट 5 वटा सबैको 5 वटा एटलिस्ट listing गरौँ. Then we should practice them from classroom perspective. Then how we deliver, how we apply in the classroom while teaching, listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, language function. यसको 8 वटैको एक्टिभिटीहरु बनाएर राख्नु पर्यो है. So anagram is simple. Then in your directly, indirectly, we have talked in our previous discussion. So which activity you don't know, then please you tell me. Prakash has written anagram. So anagram is this activity. Anagram is teacher writes one word on the board. Teacher writes one word on the board. First step is then teacher write word मात्र सुरु गरौँ है. Write one word on the board. Ask students to make as many words as possible from the given word. For example, if the teacher has written the word teacher, if the teacher has written, if the teacher has written the word teacher on the board, on the BOARD board, students try to make other words by arranging the letters of the word teacher, such as T, so teacher, from teacher we can make T, then teach, then tell her, then teach her. अरु के बन्न सक्छ यसो हेर्नुस् त. TAT HER her, TSH teach, and CAT हैन, EAT eat, and अरु के भन्छ. Can you write in the yes? I check your chat box. Act chat. Yes, it hat. Yes, you have written hat. you have written ACT Act also. You have written a CHAT chat also. Yes, in this way, they make. In this way, cats also good. Uh, CATCH cats. So this way, students they try to write many words from the given word. Just they have to arrange. They have to arrange the letters, alphabets given in the word given in the word, and they arrange the letters and make as many possible words as they can. So this is called a what? Anagram. Your word formation there is an anagram. So we teach how the words we form. This is in this way we teach this. यो तरिकाले जान्छौँ. Yes, this is no. This is especially for the word formation to increase the vocabulary power of the students, not only to the lower secondary, even secondary students. They can practice. To increase the vocabulary power. If students they have large number of vocabulary power, they can do better in reading, writing, in listening, speaking, grammar, pronunciation, in every skills and aspect. So vocabulary is one of the predicators of academic success. We already said. Then we can increase the vocabulary power. So this is one activity, and यसरी चाहिँ हामी जानुपर्छ हैन. अब तपाईहरुले यो हियरिङ मिस्टेक्स हामीले पहिला गरिसक्यौं. अहिले लेख्नु पर्छ र पहिला क्लासहरुमा लेखिसक्या हो हैन. Simon says also dictation also यिनीहरुको क्लासरुम प्रोसिजर लेख्नु पर्यो. सेम अर डिफरेन्ट हैन. Should you write or you try from your side? भन्नुस् त. We try, okay. Thank you. In this way, of all activities, सबै एक्टिभिटीहरु गर्नु होला. This can be. Simon says it's game. This is game. This is listening game. For example, just if you have 5-minute activity book, that is very useful. Just a minute. 5-minute activity. So I'll write a few, process here. The 5-minute activity. Like give the students a series of commands, simple commands to perform, such as series of commands. Stand up, sit down, point to the fan, and touch your head. These are what simple commands. A series of stand up, sit down, point to the fan, touch your head, touch your nose, open your book. In this way, a series of commands teacher provides to the students, and students have to perform. And second step, then tell them that tell them that only commands PRECED preceded by or prefixed by one name, preceded by or prefixed PREFIX prefixed अगाडि आउने के prefixed by the words yes I am when Simon says are to be carried out, are to be carried out or should are to be carried out or should follow. Anyone who makes mistake and obeys other commands obeys other commands will be out from this activity. So finally announce the winner who remains at the last. In this way, just 3 steps. And this is one. This is a kind of game, listening game. So give the students a series of simple commands to perform, such as stand up, sit down, point to the fan, touch your head. Put your hands on your head. This kind of commands we give. Put your hands on your head. On your head. Now then tell them that only commands preceded by or prefixed by the words Simon says are to be carried out. त्यो मात्रै चाहिँ follow गर्नुपर्छ. Anyone who makes mistakes, anyone who makes mistake and obeys other commands and will be out from this activity. For example, yeah, Simon says sit down. Simon says sit down. Simon says touch your head, and can say what? Stand up. So if students they follow, if students follow the stand up, and they will be out from the activity. So they have to follow only Simon says sit down, Simon says touch your head. These actions they have to, or commands they have to follow, they have to carry out. And then Simon says if they carry out, they will be out from the game. And finally announce the winner who remains at the last. So this is a kind of competition game, and at the same time learning. They when they listen and what understand and act accordingly. So this is such kind of game. So yes, thank you. This is Simon says. Yes. Now question can be asked. Question कसरी सोध्न सक्छ भने यसैलाई question बनाऊ. Here what are the activities that can be used while teaching listening skills, to the lower secondary level students. Design at least 4 activities that are useful in listening class. यसरी सोध्नु हैन. अब यहाँ हेर्नु त question is asked like फरक तरिकाले आउन सक्छ, तर थोरै कन्फ्युजन पार्न सक्छ. Don't be confused. Like in what are the activities that can be used while teaching listening skills? Activity listing गर्नु पर्यो यहाँ हैन. Or for यहाँ थोरै listening को बारेमा लेखिदिउँ न. And यसको आन्सर लेख्दाखेरि हैन, first introduction, short introduction we write, and then we talk about list out the activities. Then we design for activities. यति हो यसले खोजेको हैन. तीनटा पार्ट्स यसमा. र यहाँनिर चाहिँ तपाईहरु कन्फ्युज कहाँनिर हुन सक्नुहुन्छ भने हामीले प्री लिसनिङ, while listening and post listening पढिरहेको छौं हामीले हैन. यसलाई के गर्ने, यो यसको एक्टिभिटी लेख्ने कि नलेख्ने भन्ने हुन सक्छ. सो you may have this kind of confusion here. Okay, here also there are many activities we can use under the under the pre-listening. के भयो कतिर क्लिक गरेर अर्कोतिर आउँछ. Yes. So, for example, giving background information, giving background information, then vocabulary discussion, picture discussion, okay, describing, predicting clarity, predicting topic by the help of keywords. These are a few to mention here. Okay, while listening activities, these are also activities. We can use giving background information of the text, vocabulary discussion, picture describing, and predicting topics by the help of keywords. While listening means here, they can do matching, they can do circling, and they can do completing, and they can do answering, they can do rearranging, they can do TF item, they can do. So these are also what while listening activities, while listening activities. And post listening activities are also there, like summarizing, retailing, retailing, then paraphrasing. So these are paraphrasing. These activities we use. अब कुरा आउँछ, should we write these pre-listening activities, while listening activities, post-listening activities, or Simon says dictation, कुन चाहिँ लेख्ने भन्ने आउन सक्छ तपाईहरुलाई हैन. So dictation, this kind of activity. If question is asked like this, question about what are the activities, what are the techniques, techniques or activities are what synonymously used, and we techniques activities. So if the question if possible, write dictation, then Simon says mistake in hearing mistake, mistake in reading. So you if possible write these activities, okay. I can for example matching, circling, completing, answering, TF, rearranging. These are also activities. You can activity you can write these. But if you understand, if you know, like Simon says, dictation, hearing mistakes, then this yes, same or different is for the different rhyming words. If you know and can describe, you are confident, then write these. यो चाहिँ लेख्नु भन्छु म चाहिँ है यसमा चाहिँ तर आउँदै आएन भने matching, circling, completing, answering, rearranging, true false, you can write this also. Answer for तपाईको answer चाहिँ मिल्छ, answer चाहिँ मिल्छ तर यसले खोज्ने चाहिँ खोजेको के हो भने so yes, Simon says dictation or but if you write matching, circling, completing, arranging, if you write and your answer won't be wrong. Oh yes, दुईटा तरिकाबाटै हेर्नु पर्यो. Activities either you give from the stage model like pre-listening, while listening, post-listening, or you give what Simon says, dictation like this you give. Okay, in this way you have to do. Now, in the introduction part, how we start is like, listening is one of the language skills. One of the language skills, it is the first skill students or learners, students have to learn in course of target language learning. Listening is an activity of paying attention and trying to understand what we hear. यो चाहिँ तपाईको to write in the introduction section. I request to everybody to remember one definition of all skills and aspects. सबै skill aspect को एउटा definition चाहिँ सम्झेर बस्नु होला. Then in the introduction part, you feel easy to start. Like listening भन्यो भने listening बाट आयो भने just you can write listening is an activity of paying attention and trying to understand what we hear. You can write then if it is from speaking what I want, simply you can write speaking is the ability to speech using language. Then reading, if it is from the reading is an activity dominated by the eyes and the brain. By the eyes and the brain, the eyes receive message and the brain filters its significance. Like this. And writing what I want, so you can write writing is the writing is the activity of generating tentative and rough ideas and translating them into readable text. Like this, एउटा definition चाहिँ तपाईहरु सबैको चाहिँ कन्ट्रोल गरेर भन्नु होला. Then this is primary skill, this is secondary, this is receptive, this is productive, this is skill. You can write. So one definition, if you write a couple of sentences, then it works in the introduction part. काम गर्छ. त्यही भएर one definition at least you remember, then you feel easy to mention in the introduction section. Introduction चाहिँ लेख्नु पर्छ हैन, फेरि डाइरेक्टली नलेख्नु होला सकेसम्म. So if you write introduction, then it creates context create गर्छ यसले हैन. So in this way, my suggestion, okay. Okay. So in this way, you write listening, listening is, what is this? Yes, listening is related to language input. You know, uh, this means when we listen, we receive message. Message. You know, in this way, you write in the introduction section, but no need to write this introduction like this. In paragraph form you write. And second question is just you list what list out the activities. Then and you give the bullet. दिन सक्नुहुन्छ हैन. Simon says you use dictation, you use, then same or different same or different activities you use, find the differences you use, then sport, then areas why rhyming words you can use, and listen and yes, listen and match you can do, and listen and listen and answer you can do. So these are, in this way you list out. List out गरिदिनुहुन्छ. Then third question is what? Design. When this is design, describe, explain, यस्तो भन्यो भने the description or the four activities are given भन्दिनु न, are given below भन्दिनुस्. Then you go जानुस्, यहाँ लेख्नुस् हैन. जस्तै Simon says this is one activity, and then just write classroom procedures like this. यसरी चाहिँ जाउँ यो क्वेशन को लागि है. This is just sample, and now you can continue. We go in the next question हैन. यसरी जाउँ this way. यहाँ अझै यसरी लेख्नु, activity Simon says, and classroom, basic classroom delivery process. You write like this. Okay, this is the way. यो तरिकाबाट जाउँ है त. Then you do other activities like dictation also. यसरी गर्नुस् हैन. Find the difference, same or difference हैन. Rhyming wordहरु यसरी गर्दिनु भयो भने then this answer is complete. यो यसरी लेख्नु पर्ला है. One question. Then अर्को question यहीबाट बनाऊ हैन. Simple question. Question number 2. What are the objectives of teaching listening skills to the lower secondary level students? Objectives of teaching listening to the lower secondary level students. Here, describe with also भन्न सक्छ हैन. यो जसरी सोधे पनि भन्न खोजेको also describe with example. Describe मतलब also describe any four activities to achieve to achieve those objectives. This kind of question can also be asked, what are the objectives of teaching? Why do you teach listening to your students? Why do you teach? And you mention the what are the objectives? 4 देला हैन, ल 2 देला, अनि गएर 4 वटा एक्टिभिटी भनेपछि 8 देला. It's equal to 10 marks. In this way, can ask. Okay. In this way, यसको पनि so introduction part त्यही माथिको ल्याउनुस् लिसनिङ भन्ने बित्तिकै ट्याक्कै यो लगिहाल्नुस् क्या सुरुमा यो ठोकिहाल्ने हो this is in the introduction part just we begin with the some sentences in introduction like listening is one of the language skills it is the first skill students have to learn in course of learning target language in course of learning target language in course of learning target language here also in course of learning target language in this way. And listening is an activity of paying attention and trying to understand what we hear. Listening is related to language input. This means when we listen, we receive message. Take a question by Anish. What are the objectives? The objectives of teaching listening to the to the lower secondary level students are given below and you go to the bullet again. Objectives what are the objectives? So you might have confusion, right? So these objectives we have to check, curriculum check. So in curriculum, there is learning outcomes. Learning outcomes for example, just I want to show you this we discussed in unit 5 also. I think that is curriculum, school level curriculum. There we discuss, but here just I want to show you the school curriculum lower secondary. Yes, this is this is the curriculum. What are the objectives of teaching English to the lower secondary? What are the objectives of teaching English to the lower secondary? This is the answer. You competencies you have to list out, to the lower secondary level. These are the competencies and these are the objectives. We write like this. But if question is asked, what are the objectives of teaching listening to the grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, to the lower secondary level, so we just think this learning outcomes. These learning outcomes are the objectives. At last, students, they are expected to achieve these learning outcomes after the at the end of grade 8. Understand and extract specific information from short and clearly articulated spoken English every day. Understand and pick out the main points from short audio materials. Show an understanding of the conventions of these are what these are objectives. Just like show and understand and pick up the main points from the short audio clips. Like okay, in the objective of like this, understand and pick out, understand and pick out the main points from the audio text. This can be one objective of teaching listening. From audio materials, follow short simple instruction. Follow short and simple instructions. Then in this way, you can write your own. In listening class, what they have to understand, what they have to be able to do at the end of listening, at the end of speaking, at the end of writing, what they do. तपाईं आफूले लेख्दा पनि हुन्छ हैन like understand and extract specific information हैन under UN understand and extract extract specific information from the text audio text हैन audio material no audio text. So these are in this way the question the answer of the question like what are the objectives of teaching listening अथवा यिनीहरु भन्न सक्ला तपाईलाई why do you teach listening हैन may ask like why do you teach listening skills to the lower secondary lower secondary students यहाँ यसरी पनि सोध्न सक्ला अरु चाहिँ पछाडी त एक्टिभिटी नै जोडिहाल्छ why do you teach भनेको पनि के हो that same why means objectives reasons are what objectives so why do you teach listening skills to the lower secondary level students हैन or then also describe some useful listening activities this way may ask हैन so you be ready यसको लागि यसरी नै रेडी हुनु होला हैन क्वेशन why भन्ला हैन what are the objectives भन्ला then go त्यसपछि एक्टिभिटीमा गइहाल्छ हैन so this way you prepare हैन then activities अब तपाई एक्टिभिटीज मा आइहाल्नुहुन्छ एक्टिभिटीज आर द सेम अगाडि माथि दिइसकेको छ then and you just do that हैन now listening को अरु क्वेशनहरु आउन सक्ने भनेको तपाईको मटेरियल्सहरु के युज गर्न सकिन्छ हैन अथवा यस्तो पनि सोधिरहेछ विगतमा सजिलो छ हैन what are the activities that can be employed at pre-listening and post-listening stage हैन design yes design what are the question mark चाहियो हैन design yes design any three activities for teaching listening this kind of question can also be asked हैन तपाईलाई pre while post मै छोएर हैन what are the pre-listening activities and what are the post-listening activities that we mentioned and we design any three activities so introduction part will be again same introduction part अझै same हुन्छ यही राख्नुस् हैन because this is from the listening same you write the beginning part then you go to the what another question like what are the objectives what are the activities that can be employed right? the activities that can be used at pre-listening and post-listening are given below and be pre-listening you write pre-listening activities just you mention and post-listening yeah while listening लेख्नु परेन post-listening activities you mention like this you do like this just you write in bullet form it will be easy to check your answer also so this way question may ask यसरी नै गर्नु होला like here I have mentioned these activities यो एक्टिभिटीलाई टक्क प्री लिसनिङमा लगाइ राख्दिनुस् here and post listening activities here. त्यही भएर यिनीहरू सम्झन पर्छ these activities under the post listening this way. Okay, retelling, role playing, and debating can be done. So and next question के भनेछ भने in question, like design any 3 activities for teaching listening भनेछ, then you are familiar. The 3 activities are discussed, discuss below भन्नुस्. फेरि यहाँ like Simon says यसरी नै जानुस्. In this way you do, यसरी गर्नुलाई यो क्वेशन हैन. So question कहिले कहिले चाहिँ तपाईको प्री लिसनिङ, what are the pre listening activities, what are the post listening activities, what are the while listening activities भन्न नि सक्छ हैन. So if indicated like this, then you just mention pre listening, post listening activities, then you talk then design मा जानुस् हैन. In this way we can do. र अर्को एउटा क्वेशन हामीलाई सोध्न सक्छ हैन, what are the different materials that can be used while teaching listening skills to the lower secondary students. Select any one text material or audio text material and design classroom delivery procedures. procedures. यसरी पनि सोध्न सक्ला हैन. Just you be familiar what are the different materials that can be used while teaching listening skills to the lower secondary students. Select any one of them भनौं न हैन. Select any one of them and design classroom delivery process. How you use that material भनेर लेख्नु पर्ला. अब यो materials just introduction part फेरि पनि यसमा पनि introduction part यही लेख्नुस् हैन, introduction part. So त्यही भएर मैले एउटा रेडिमेड बनाउनुस् भनेको के introduction part लाई चाहिँ listening 1, speaking 1, reading 1, writing 1, एउटा तीन चार सेन्टेन्स को चाहिँ रेडिमेड answer like in introduction part. You can write, you can prepare, and you can remember. Now go to the materials. The useful materials that are used that can be used while teaching listening skills are given below. यसरी जान सक्नुहुन्छ. Like there are different materials. For example, textbook you can use. Then audio script can be there. Then telephone conversation, these are the different materials you can use. Then just you mention the classroom procedures, and teachers lectures can also be teachers lecture. Teacher reads, teacher gives lecture, and students they listen and do the activities. So classroom procedure पनि तपाईको teacher lecture चाहिँ गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Teachers teachers lecture, LCT lecture, This is what LECTUR. Teacher lecture is one. Let's say materials. Then how you use in the classroom. Just you make the process. This was a process like in this way we can do. So now let's talk about speaking or reading book, teaching reading, because they are receptive skills. Teaching reading same उस्तै तरिकाले जान सकिन्छ टिचिङ रिडिङको पनि. फर इक्जाम्पल यही प्याटर्नमा जाउँ क्वेसन हैन. देन this is what are the activities. When we talk about teaching reading, also simple sajilo cha. What are the activities or techniques that can be used while teaching English, while teaching reading skills, while teaching reading skills to the lower secondary level students? These are activities for activities that are useful in reading class. In reading class, in this way we can do. For example, just I want to stop this sharing. Simon says कति पटक भन्ने मैले भनिसके यहाँ लेखेको पनि छ. सो तपाई नयाँ नयाँ पढ्नु चाहिँ के हो. So just I want to show you one question asked in previous exam. कस्तो सोधेको चाहिँ एकचोटि हेरौँ है त. And ours just a minute. Yes, subjective. Yes. Now, is the question. This was in 2075. It was asked, define syntax, describe 2 activities to teach syntax at lower secondary level. Confused. Simple. Syntax sentence. How do you teach sentence? And here, question number 3rd. This is 10 marks. Asked describe at least 5 activities that can be used to develop reading skills of lower secondary level students. This is 10 marks. ठ्याक्कै यही क्वेसन हामीले प्र्याक्टिस गर्न सकिन्छ. Activities are important, so my suggestion, my request to you all is list out activities and you prepare them from the classroom. How do we use in the classroom? हैन, classroom कसरी युज गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने पार्टबाटै जानुपर्छ हैन. So in this way, this here simple, एकदमै सजिलो छ क्वेसन, तर तपाईहरु नातिनुस्. Now see here, in this kind of question, I already said short introduction part necessary. Introduction part reading is one of the pattern, one of the language skills. Reading is related to language input. This means when we read, we receive message and information. This is reading good definition. Reading is an activity dominated by the eyes and the brain. The eyes receive receive any message, and the brain filters its significance. Okay. In this way, we can write short introduction about the reading. Uh, okay. When uh, reading can also be understood as looking at words and sentences and extracting required information. You know, in reading, we 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 see two components. Components, they are decoding and comprehension. ल यति कुरा तपाईं इन्ट्रोडक्सनमा लेख्नुभयो भने ready-made बनाउनुस्. You prepare your ready-made answer in the introduction part. If it is asked from reading, this is your answer. If it is asked from writing, this is your introduction. If this is asked from listening, this is your ready-made introduction part. Speaking, this is ready-made introduction. You prepare like that. Okay. Yes, describe. Means just describe. Also, you explain. Then design means actually you develop the activity. Classroom steps you mentioned. Describe. Pani we know. तर डिजाइन भनेको अलिकति तपाईको के भन्छ भने कम्प्लिट एक्टिभिटी को चाहिँ फ्रेमवर्क आउनु पर्छ डिजाइनमा हैन. Describe भनेको just activities that just you describe that I use like this, I use like this भने हैन जान सकिन्छ. डिजाइन अलिकति हैन. So this is construction तिर जान्छ हैन. तर synonymously we can use here for our purpose. So in this way you write the activities. Then 5 activities भनेको छ. The 5 activities that can be used while teaching reading skills to the lower secondary level. Students are given below भनेर students are given below भनेर जानु होला हैन त. So you go like this, be or whatever like this. Then just you bring from the list here. Here reading. Yeah, these are the what activities. Just you put here. Okay, you do like this. So loud reading you do. Model students. Model reading you do. Improving speed of reading you do. Jigsaw reading you do. And mistaken reading you do. Okay, in this way. And what they describe. Then you describe how you use these activities. You describe. This is the way of reading. And reading बाट अब अरु क्वेशन सोध्न सक्छ. जस्तै what are the different materials that can be used or adapted or utilized, that can be used while teaching reading skills to the lower secondary level students. Students, students. So describe how short story can be used to develop extensive and intensive reading skills of the students. Now, this kind of question, we have many materials. Materials meaning what we have to understand is materials introduction part. Just you copy from here, and this is the introduction part. You copy here, and materials. There are two types of materials. Two types of materials are there. There, one is literary text. Sorry, literary text. Another is non-literary text. Non-literary text and literary. Non-literary text means like you can use pie chart, pie chart. Then you can use table, then you can use advertisement, advertisement. You can use news report, news report you can use. So there are many text we can use. And in literary text, poem also one text for teaching reading. Poem, short story also one useful text to teach reading, and drama also one useful text to teach reading. Then what, essay also we can use to teach reading. So in this way question ले के भन्न सक्छ भने हामी reading भन्ने बित्तिकै फेरि हाम्रो के हुन्छ भने in extensive reading activities, then intensive reading activities are there, intensive reading activities reading activities. So these in reading, so two components भने थियो हामीले, reading is called to decoding plus comprehension हो, so we have to focus these. For the comprehension, these are the activities, extensive and intensive. Comprehension activities भन्यो भने, comprehension activities, if it is asked, then what we can talk, extensive and intensive activities, intensive plus extensive activities we can talk. So okay, 6:35 now. I think primary they will start the class. This is about reading. यसरी तयारी गर्दै जाउँ. So you also try to write answer from your perspective. Main idea in reading is what? Decoding or comprehension. To develop comprehension, there are some comprehension exercises or comprehension activities, like extensive, simple type of fill in the blanks, matching, completing. These are extensive. They just read for the fun, pleasure. And intensive means for detailed understanding, like true, false, rearranging, answer question answer. These activities they do. So for the extensive and intensive, using what? Short story, using dramas, using essay, using poem, using table, chart, biograph, advertisement, news report, sympathy, condolence. These are what? Text. कसरी प्रयोग गर्न सकिन्छ, then we have to discuss. So thank you so much. Now primary. यसरी नै question अब यसरी अलि चाँडो जानु पर्ला है. Okay, now primary you can start. एकछिन भने 1-2 मिनेट कुरा गरौँ त. Okay, so यहाँ चाहिँ in this kind of question, you have to ask decoding plus comprehension, main reading ma bhaneko these two components we have to understand. What is reading? Reading means what? First, recognizing script, being familiar with the script, symbols, then what? Comprehension. So these two components should be there. Now to develop comprehension, comprehension ability of the students. Comprehension activities or comprehension exercises should be there, and extensive reading activities plus intensive reading activities is called to comprehension activities. So extensive, how do we develop extensive ability, extensive reading ability of the students, reading ability of the students? So simple activities, simple and short activities we have to use, like activities like fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, simple activities, then matching, then completing, then COMPLE, completing, and then choosing type of so COMP, completing, choosing, this type of activities for the extensive reading, and intensive reading activities, intensive reading ability to develop intensive reading ability of the students. Just we can use TF type of exercises, answer the question type of activity. Then we can use what rearranging type of example sentences will be there, and they read the text and they rearrange it. So this kind of little bit higher order require detailed understanding, depth understanding information students they should have. So this kind of अब माथिको क्वेशनमा जाँदाखेरि, so how what are the different materials that can be used while teaching reading skills to the lower secondary student? Describe how short story can be used to develop extensive and intensive reading skills. So के भनिदिनुस् भने, short story is text, like के राखिदिउँ भने text is short story, bullet मा राख्दै पनि भयो, and text is short story. Reading means decoding plus comprehension, and in extensive मा यो लानुस्, intensive मा यो भइहाल्यो. यति कुरा चाहिँ ख्याल गर्नु पर्यो. Text is what? Short story. Reading means what? Decoding plus comprehension. Extensive reading ability, simple activities we design from the short story, like fill in the blanks, matching, completing, choosing type of. Then for the intensive ability, we use what type of question answer we organize, then rearranging type of we do. यति गर्यो भने then this will be the complete answer. Okay, thank you. You can start.